do I got a 2-inch block sitting on top of the tires, just like Talladega told me how to do it.
You got 2-inch underneath that is
On top of the tire, so the fenders are sitting on a 2-inch block. So that means that the fenders are not sitting on the tire. And then when you let the air out of the bags, it drops 2 inches. You would think that was more, but it's not. So anyway, so I had to have enough room for the airbags to come down without destroying the fenders. Plus these tires are kind of worn, so I have to add a little bit in there, about 1/2 inch for tire wear. So about a 2.5-inch drop is what I gotta have for safety, so whenever I'm dropping my bags and I'm backing up underneath the trailer, I'm not tearing up my fenders. So I had to put that in my measurements. And
that's not permanent, right? The blocks are not permanent, right?
so anyway, so yeah, I had to do that with all my measurements to make sure I got enough room to let the air out and not bring it up too high so it looks all jacked up. So you want the fenders to be as low as you can get them. And so now that I've done that, I don't have a welder and I don't even know how to weld. Never tried. Probably should do that one of these days. But so what I'm doing, it's making it more difficult and time consuming because I have to drill all these holes and fit everything. And then when I get everything fitted together where I want it, then I'll take it all apart, take it down and get it welded and put it back together.
And who's gonna weld it for you?
Huh?
Tell him who's gonna weld it for you.
Mennonite Melvin. Do it for me.
Mennonite Melvin, which means he doesn't obviously want to be on the camera. Mennonites don't.
Yeah.
So tell me all about this. What is all going down here? I mean,
Well, that's my brackets that we're talking about. For those of you that don't know, I was talking about the brackets, and that's the brackets that Ruthie's going, what is that? That's what I was talking about, the brackets. These are the brackets. And so what I'm fixing to do now is that I got these where I want them in height, and I'm going to bring them up about anyway, so I'm going to cut some slots square into this tube, and then I'm going to slide this tube down in it and put a bolt through it to hold it together. That's just until they get it welded. And then I have some triangles. I'm going to make some triangles so we can weld here and here to make this so it doesn't have any give going side to side.
oh,
So-
we can hear you better now that it's gone off.
Yeah, it usually doesn't come on when I plug it into the house, but my battery ran down on my drill, so I put it in there, it kicked it on. So anyway, right now I'm pretty much right where I want it, but I'm going to cut a square slot into this 1x1, and this is going to slide down inside of it, and I'm going to put a bolt through it. And all this is going to stay bolted up until I get it welded. Now, on my Talladega, what they did, Talladega fenders, is they cut a notch and put this tube up inside of the fender. Myself, personally, I don't want to cut the fenders at all. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this for the fender to sit on, and then the flat piece is going to be inside, which is already there. And I'm going to have 4 bolts, one here, one there. And so I'm going to actually use this for the fender to sit on. So the fenders are going to sit on top of this, and I'm going to do it all areas the same way. I want the fenders to sit on this, and I'll put rubber under it so it doesn't eat away at it too much. Either way, when it gets sand and dirt and all that, it's going to eat on it a little bit, but I don't want it all notched out the way Talladega did my Talladega fenders, because they're the ones that installed my fenders, and they had big square notches everywhere, and I didn't like it. And but these fenders don't have that big lip that sticks over, and there's no reason to cut them, and so I'm not going to cut them. I want them to stay just like the way I bought them. So the only holes that are going to go in them are right here where I put the bolts in, and here and a bolt there in the middle. And then 4 bolts up here, and I'm going to build the bracket the same way so it'll sit right down on top of the 1x1, and then it'll have the plate behind, and I'm going to have the nuts welded. One of the things on my Talladega, I always had to reach up inside and hold a wrench and take a ratchet and get the other one out. So that was a pain in the butt. And then you're always dropping the nut and you didn't know where it went. So I'm going to drill the hose and take the bolts down there and have him weld the nut onto the plate. That way all you got to do is loosen the nut and you don't have to worry. I mean, loosen the bolt and not have to worry about the nut. So.
All right, and maybe talk about this box that you're going to be building right here.
It's not a box, it's a square. So right there I got to build an L. So in case some of you don't know.
Oh, what were your drawings? You have some drawings. You did some artistic
Yeah,
drawings.
I have some drawings. But see, this goes over the where the leaf spring goes on here. See, it's mounted on here with 2 bolts, and I got to drill 2 holes for these to go to slide over the bolt. And this is going to go in there just like that. See, and then it's going to have a piece coming down. And then it's going to go L. It's going to L all the way over here, and the bracket's going to sit on it. So, yeah, I don't. The Talladegas that I had, they had a bar going across, and the problem is with that, you can't get under that bar. So when you're under there trying to lube, and you're on this flat ground, there's no way to get under that bar. So I didn't dig that at all. As you can see, this bar right here. You're not going to get under that, you know, so I ain't into that. I don't, sometimes I swell up and get a belly, and besides that, my head's too big. I can't get under there. So anyway, I don't want a bar all the way across in the front, so I'm just going to build L's in the middle and L's in the front. So L brackets.
Okay.
And so they'll be welded to this, straight down.
And did you finish painting this? Tell everybody that you're gonna put a different
I'm not gonna finish painting until I'm all done with my brackets and drilling holes.
Well, that's true.
When I'm all done, then I will go over it, sand it down, and smooth it out, get that smooth, and then I'm gonna these are gonna be flat. They're not going to be shiny, they're going to be flat. And then I'm going to take that pattern off the hood of the flames, and I'm going to put the flames somehow on here. I want them to come over the side a little bit, maybe around there, and then come off of here, put some flames here to match the hood. So you'll have flames matching the hood.
So are you going to freehand that then, sort of?
Yeah. That's not a problem. It's not like some artist did that anyway.
So you're talking about, for the benefit of our viewers, you're talking about...
I think a kindergartner could have did better than that. So anyway, I'll put the same identical type of flames, just like this. You see how this one flame is going over the edge of the fender? That's exactly what I'll do right here. I'll put the flame going exactly down the same thing, just right here down the side of it. And maybe I'll try to fit a little bit more on there.
Okay.
I won't get too carried away. Just something where it looks like it's part of the paint scheme. So.
You think Melvin will want your quarter fenders when you go down there? Are you going to take them down, your quarter fenders down to Melvin? The man
Melvin who?
The Mennonite Melvin.
I don't know.
I mean, you said you had no use for your quarter fenders anymore.
He'll probably want them,
Huh. So, is this the bubble tells you that it's level?
yeah. Yeah, you gotta have a level. Although it's a little off, but out here in this yard, that's about as best.
So if the bubble is between the 2 lines right there, that means it's level. If the bubble is between the 2 lines?
Yeah.
Okay. But then what do the other things mean? Like this one on the side?
These are angles.
Is that a good tool?
don't want to build without it.
Yeah. All right. Well. Oh, here. I didn't get this on film, but talk about what you did over here.
That's the same thing. It's my bracket.
Right. That you took your grinder. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to film Steven doing this, but is that the new grinder?
Yeah.
Does it work better than the other one?
It's got more RPMs. It's stronger. It's bigger.
All right. So is this 12 feet right here? This one piece right here? I mean, you got them in 12 feet, right? You got these in 12 feet, right? Is that a 12-foot piece?
I think I cut some of that off.
Okay, so yesterday you had your grinder out yesterday, and you were cutting that up to make the bracket then. Well, all right.
What are they doing over there? What are you cutting?
Wood.
They're doing wood over there
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. So we have some Mennonites in front of us, and you hear a sawmill going on. That's what you're.
I hear a gasoline motor running.
Yeah, they are using a gasoline mower. So what you're hearing?
That's cheating. They should be doing that. They should have one Mennonite on a bicycle pedaling the saw, while the other one runs the wood through.
So what you're hearing in the background, what you're hearing is a sawmill cutting up some firewood, and it's a gasoline mower.
So anyway, yeah, the middle and the front's gonna have L brackets holding the middle and the front, and the back is just gonna have a T bracket all the way across.
Okay.
So
Well, all right. Well, that
I
is.
had to measure them. Like I said, I had to measure them for letting the air out. So whenever I let the air out of the bags, my tires are not dragging the fenders. I don't want holes in my fenders.